Hey, it's another day here at Freeman's garage, and we're in the garage again working on the 1956 Chevy project. And if we're ever going to drive this car, we got to put the engine in it. But we can't put the engine in the car without engine mounts. But the challenge is we're not going the easy way. We're not using the modern side engine mounts that you can pick up at any parts store. We're taking the hard road and sticking with original flavor. The 1956 factory front engine mounts. I've already done all the arm work, and I have found an original set of front engine mounts in Austin, Texas. So we got to run to Austin, pick them up, and then when we get back here to Freeman's garage, we'll do a little bit of restoration work on them so that they're ready to go for dropping our V8 into our 56 Chevy. We'll hit the road in a sec and go pick up our parts down in Austin, but this is our 350 cubic inch V8 Chevrolet power plant that we're putting in our 56 Chevy. This is a 1986 casting, and these two holes right there, there's a set on each side of the engine block. That's where side engine mounts bolt to. In order to use the modern side engine mounts, we would have to do a little bit of modification to our 56 Chevy, but everything you need to do that can easily be obtained through a mail order catalog. Well, actually now, don't they have that internet thing. Yeah, so you can get everything you need even faster. But in order to use original factory General Motors front engine mounts, it takes a little bit more rooting around, if you know what I mean. There's a little bit more to it than that, and some neat factoids about how they were mounting the engines into these cars in 1956, but we'll get into all that and cool factoids when we get back from Austin with our parts. Right now, it's morning, the sun's just come up, and we're taking a 1967 Chevy C10, so you know, we better boot, scoot, and boogie and get down there and back before it's 110 degrees, because we're going to be roasting even with the winders down. This is probably going to take us about 4 hours to do, because it's close to 2 hours in this truck each way. So I'm sure when we get back, it'll pretty much be sandwich time. We're making our way out to the highway right now. As soon as we get out onto it, we'll blaze a trail. The sooner we get down there and get our parts, the sooner I can show them to you, the sooner we can look at them and get back to Freeman's garage and get back to that old 56 Chevy waiting in there. There's always somebody riding up your tailpipe. When did that start? See, that's what's funny. I bet you anything, when there was almost nothing but Model A's on the road, people were doing the same thing to each other then. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong or am I right? I don't know. Oh dear. Put your opinion in the comments if you want. I'd like to know what you have to say. Look, this guy's gonna pass us on this road that's one lane. I don't know, do you think we can make this up this hill in third gear? Here we go. Might have shifted too late. But second gear is going to be too low of a gear. Foots to the floor. Foots to the floor. Yeah, we hit it too slow. Right before stalling out. Oh. Actually, we did stall out. Okay. Please nobody come behind us. Alright, here we go. Jeez, this is steep. This is really steep. Holy cow. Jeez. That's a steep hill. So here's what he had waiting for me. A complete stranger we've never met before in our lives, and he wanted to give me those for free. Doing his part to help get another classic back on the road, he said. Tried to talk him up as high as I could. He wouldn't go past zero, so I ended up forcing him to take a $20 bill from me. I wouldn't leave without leaving something. Well, let's hit the road and blast back to Freeman's garage so that we can take a closer look at these parts, because there's some more I want to tell you and show you about them. Plus, we got some work to do. And by the way, I haven't drank much of this coffee. It's already way too hot for coffee. I am completely soaked. Look at this. This is just from my arm being on the steering wheel while we've been talking. Looking forward to winter. Total alien environment. It's not that often these days that I venture into a metropolis like that. It's been a long time since I rock and rolled, if you know what I mean. Actually, I don't know what I mean. You never know, there could be something going on here that I'm just not aware of, but it just seems kind of strange to me that they would have these washers on these cushions. And these cushions, /bushings, whatever you'd like to call them, we're replacing them, of course. We're not going to try to use these ones. I'm pretty sure these bushings for these 1956 Chevy engine mounts are the originals based on how tough these are to get out. These things are extremely crusty and stuck in here. Wow, look at how crusty that is. We're just gonna break all this apart and start over with trying to assemble complete mounts here, because I've just been kind of getting confusing myself because there's so many pieces, and some of these washers were in the wrong spots. So we'll just break everything down. It's going to have to be broken down anyways to get these old cushions out of here, so let's just do this and then kind of start over. This is one of those projects that in my head I was thinking about how much time it would take to get it done today, and now I'm realizing that we are have transitioned into the second half of the day already. I really thought by now we'd be finishing up the media blasting, because we're going to put these in the blast cabinet, blast them up, bring them down to bare metal, get some fresh paint on them. But of course, what color are we going to paint the engine mounts? I mean, it looks like they were at the factory painted the same color as the engine. Or should they be painted the same color as the frame? In a community tab post here on the Freeman's Garage channel, we did take a poll, a survey. And the majority of people are wanting the engine to be painted orange. Nothing wrong with Chevy Competition orange, right? It's one of my favorite colors in the world. It's one of my two favorite orange colors. Chevrolet Competition orange and Omaha orange are my two favorite orange colors. We're gonna have to make our mind up pretty quick here though, because we gotta get this job done today. Well, I've got some time to think about it here, so you'll find out later in the video, obviously, what color we end up painting them. But alright, so let's start over. This is from the guy that we just got these engine mounts from. So let's use these, because these are the two ones that came off our 56 Chevy, so they're probably original from the factory. So we'll go with those. And we need, well, we're gonna need all the nuts, which we don't have enough. So we're gonna have to source some of those. And let's organize all this. Oh, don't roll away on us. Let's organize everything here. And we'll use our old cushions here right now just for mock-up. And we're short on some of those too. But we'll get to that in a second here. We'll work through this and figure out exactly everything that we're missing. This is going to be fun sandblasting. I like doing small stuff like this. You know what? Let's grab these and come with me. Let's go up to the front of the car and I'll show you exactly how we're going to be putting these in, and then we'll take these over to the engine. That way it'll make more sense. For me anyways. You know, slow, you know. Would it be weird if in my head I just randomly started hearing, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" That's not weird, is it? This hole right here is going to be with this square nut end down towards the frame. This is going to go in here, and then the other one in my hand will go in that hole. So these will be sticking up like that. Okay, we're back over here at our engine now, and here are the holes in the front of our engine that we are going to use for our factory front engine mounts. There's two holes on each side, and what's cool is that, remember, this is a 1986 engine, and they kept these holes up here forever. Awesome Chevy stuff. And what else is cool is that, see, not only are these cut out to go around the timing cover, check this out. Because this is Chevy, this is General Motors, this is a 1986 engine, 1956 engine bracket goes on, and this here is a GM intake manifold bolt. I don't remember what engine this came off of, but it's 20 to 40 years old. This one is probably a little less than 40. I think it came off a Cutlass or something, or a Monte Carlo. But check this out. So 86 engine, 56 bracket. Oh, why am I even doing this over here? I had better light the other way. Check this out. Random Chevy intake manifold bolt. Goes right in. And it's also, this is the same size bolt that's going to fit these threads for the water pump. Gotta love Chevy. But so anyways, so our engine mount is going to be like so, and then this piece here is going to be like this, and then of course all our cushions or bushings and washers go in between, and the bottom here goes down into the frame like we looked at earlier. Alright, so we need 2 of these. Got them. We need 4 nuts. We only have 3, and they don't match anyways. This one's different. These 2 are probably the correct ones. So we need 2 of these. We'll get those at the hardware store. Okay, then we need 2 of these. We got that. Now for our washers, we need 4 of everything. So we need 4 of the big ones. Okay, we got that. We need 4 of the smaller ones. We've got, yeah, we've only got 3, right? We've got 3, but this one's all bent to heck anyways. So we'll say we have 2, so we need 2 of those. And then we need 4 of these with that cool curve on them. These bell looking ones. So we need 4 of those. Oh, this one's kind of blown out, but yeah, I think it'd be fine. So we got all 4 of, what is going on? So we got all 4 of those. And then these don't matter because we're completely replacing these. For fun skis, let's assemble one. So this is gonna go like that. Okay, what am I looking for? Okay, one of those, and then that would go there. And then, yeah, this would go there. Okay. And this, then we'd have a small washer there. And then we would have a nut there. And then we would have another big washer would go there. And then we'd have another piece of rubber like that. And one of these. Okay, and then this end would go down to the frame, and underneath the frame you would have another piece of rubber, and then a small piece like this, and another washer like that right here, and the frame would be in between, and a nut would go here. Kind of like that. So this one is complete, of course minus all the rubber, because we're gonna put all new rubber in here anyways. And this one here, we are just missing 2 small washers and 2 nuts. So that's all we need is 2 nuts and 2 washers. Now back home up at the Freeman's Garage, North Dakota location, I got a barn full of old nuts and bolts that we could just dig through, and washers and whatnot, but not here. So we will take, I'm just making sure that these 2 washers are actually the same size. So we'll take one of these with us to the hardware store. We'll take a nut, and then we'll also take one of these, and we'll clean up the threads real quick on the, actually we'll throw it in the blast cabinet. Clean up the threads real quick so that at the hardware store we can make sure we get a good fit, and that we get the right nut that we need. Just blew an airline in the blast cabinet. Maybe we should calm down a little bit and tone down the air pressure. We're running 125. How about a hundo? Okay, that was a quick fix. Wasn't really fixing, it was just reconnecting. But so here's what our part looks like. So we'll go ahead and take this to the hardware store. I'd rather not stop working and go to the hardware store right now, but if I do go get this stuff, then we have everything except for our engine mounts, except for the rubber, of course, because that's got to be ordered. But we'll have everything here. We'll have everything blasted at once, painted at once, and we will, I almost said start what we finished. We will finish what we started in this video. For me, this hardware store trip is probably going to take about 45 minutes. But for you, let's make it 8 seconds. How's that sound? Okay, all right, I'm back. The washers that we needed, they didn't have any. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do about that yet. They had nothing that was the right diameter with maybe a smaller hole we could drill out. They didn't have anything. They didn't have anything with this thickness and this diameter and a hole that would work for us, because we don't want the washer to slide, you know, past that, because we don't want to, you know, over squish our bushings down or anything, right? So we got the washers we got for right now. That's just the way it is. We'll just have to deal with that, figure it out later. And then the hardware, I mean what we did get was we got the 2 nuts we needed, 2 3/8 nuts, 3/8 24 fine thread. And then while I was there, I thought, oh, we better get bolts to actually bolt the engine mount to the engine, right? So I grabbed, and luckily, off the top of my head, I knew what size to get. 3/8 by 1 inch. So we got 4 of those, and then 4 lock washers, just like how the factory had it. And what we're gonna do is we're going to sandblast. Oh, well, this is all, everything we got, the nuts, washers, and bolts, it's all grade 8. We couldn't even have got it all in grade 5 if we wanted, because everything was, they didn't have everything all in one grade. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to media blast our hardware a little bit, so that way our paint will stick to it real well. So what are we going to do for paint color? I'm thinking, I can't make my mind up yet on these, so I guess a little bit later here in the video I'll finally make my mind up. But what about, well, same thing with all our hardware, the original and then the new, because now I'm thinking here, well, actually this stuff's not greasy. I'm thinking, yeah, I guess I haven't made my mind up on a single color for anything yet, so. But because of the community tab poll, pretty sure that we're going to paint the engine orange, because remember, you're choosing, if you want to choose, not me. The majority wins on that, but yeah, I don't know. Should the engine mounts be black? Should they be orange, like the engine's going to be? Should the bolts, should we leave them that gold looking finish? Well, we got some work ahead of us here, so let's put our nose to the grindstone and have some fun blasting this work out. Wow, that was a pun not intended. And when we're done, we're spraying something on it. that took an hour or so, and while I was doing it, I made my mind up on colors. We're gonna hit everything with a coat of this flat gray primer, and then these two pieces and all of our washers here, they are going to get hit with this gloss smoke gray. Let me explain. Those parts, when they were at the factory new and put on the car, they were parkerized, which was kind of a sort of a shiny metallic-y finish. I wasn't around back then, but supposedly that coating did not last that long. So I don't know, maybe if a car went to Ohio or something and it went through a brutal winter right away, that coating would get eaten away. Maybe that was the case, I'm not sure. But we're gonna try to get as close to a metallic-y gray kind of color on those parts with the gloss smoke gray. And the reason why gloss smoke gray is because this is the only gray color that we have here on hand other than a primer. So we'll get the paint on and you can be the judge of it. And if you don't like it, or yay or nay or whatever, put that in the comments if you want, and we can do a different color on it later. Whatever, right? Whatever, do whatever we want. And our actual mounts here from the factory, these mounts, and then all the hardware, the bolts and the washers were the same color as the engine, which was our Chevy orange. And in fact, if I had to guess, the engine mounts were bolted to the engines, and there was hundreds of engines on chains coming down a assembly line, and the engines would pass by workers standing there with spray guns just spraying paint on the engines to paint them real quick. And well, I know that's how they did it at some of the plants anyways, at some point. But were the engine mounts bolted on at the time? I'm not sure, but probably, so they could, you know, get two birds with one stone. That'd be my guess. Those parts are looking pretty cool, aren't they? What do you think about that gloss smoke gray? I'm not too sold on it yet. We'll see what it looks like when it's dry. That stuff's gonna have to sit overnight. It's the end of the day here at Freeman's Garage. It's been a full day for me with all that driving and running around. That was 5 or 6 hours of the day right there. It had to be done though, if we're ever gonna get that engine in this car and drive it, you know. So, pinstripe dash. So up on the screen right now, I'm gonna put a couple videos where we did some other painting on this car. And like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time.